Well, I can't make another negative of me doing squats in the living room because we're piling up stuff to sell at the yard sale this weekend. Today's Monday, the 14th of August, so I have to do something else. So I have some black and white print film. It's on a core and it's on a small split reel. And it's in a plastic bag. And I peeled off 2.5 feet or so, and I printed it at 5 volts, and I just tossed the negative there on the table behind it. Now, in the dark, I had things prepared to do a dip test. This flask was filled with straight D97 that was put into this other flask so I wouldn't knock it over. It has a bigger base. From where I'm standing, I can reach the timer and the film was put into the dip tester, not that much, because it was very full. I lost a little bit of it. And I held it with my left hand, and then with my right hand, I went over here, and I went click, 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 and turned that on. So here I am. There's the timer. Now, I can't see it in the dark, but it does make light. So I only did 3 because when it goes off, then with my right hand I push the film down 3 more inches or 2 inches, and I hold it in place, and then I reach over and I turn the clock back on. Click, click, click. And I did that 3 times. 3, 6, 9. Then I located the scissors. I think they were in my pocket. I've since lost them. Oh, here they are. In the dark I put them in that jar. And I cut the end of the film. Before the 9 minutes were up, at like 7 or 8 minutes, I cut it. And I stuffed it into my pocket up here, just to put it somewhere, because I didn't have everything ready. Then in the dark, I found the can and the reels. It was up on that shelf. So I loaded the remainder of the film that has not been developed. I put it in there on a reel and shut the lid. I located a beaker on the table and this jug. I could tell which one it was by the feel of it and the size of the lid and the smell. And I put the little clip into the beaker, and in the dark I poured fixer up to the top. And I stuffed it down in there, and I made my way over to the clock again in the dark, tippy-toeing, turned that on to 6 minutes, and didn't use all of the 6 minutes. At about 4.5 or so, I turned it off, turned the light on, and had a look. So here's the end that I held, and then 9 minutes is at the bottom, 6 is in the middle, and 3 is at the top. And 6 minutes wins the prize for the most detail and the darkest image. 9 is too dark. You can't see the couch. 6 shows the couch and everything, and I'm not too light. But even at 3 minutes, I got a really good image. So here it is. The leader is slightly yellow. That was not fixed or put into the developer. The yellow part was not in the developer. There's 3 minutes. This is 6 minutes. And this is 9 minutes. Oh, I got it backwards again. Excuse me. Here, turn it over. This is still a little bit sticky. Here's 3 minutes. I might want to do this 4. Here's 6 minutes. And here's 9 minutes. Come back to 6. Back to 3. Three absolutely shows the most detail, but the blacks are not black enough for me. I like them blacker. So maybe 4 minutes. So the clip will be saved and taped into the notebook. Anything over 3 minutes is fine. It'll make a great print. Just depends how much, you're willing to make it light looking. But I think 4 minutes will be adequate. 3 looks a little bit faded on the curvy film on the sketchbook. You could see the break. I didn't bounce the film up and down, so that there's a strong division between 9 and 6 and 6 and 3. Maybe 4.5, I don't know. The developer got rid of whatever makes it yellow. The developer also is stock strength. It is not diluted, and it's fresh. And I just made it a couple days ago. So, using a normal light bulb and not that light table, this is 3 minutes. Six. And 9. Ha! I prefer the 3 minutes. I just did the remainder of the film at 4 minutes. But it's too sticky right now to do this to. But I will show you what 4 minutes looks like. You could barely see the top of the couch in 4 minutes. So I think 3.5 might be it. Alright, that's 4 minutes. I think the light flares less at 4 minutes. Yeah, it's 4 minutes and the light flares less. I think when it's projected, I will be able to see into the dark area of the couch. Anyway, I'm planning on exposing the film slightly more, like at 320 ASA. Give it half a stop more exposure, and that will make those darks lighter. And 4 volts. 4 volts will be more appropriate then. But at this point, it's just picky uni stuff to make it work. I've got it working beautifully now. Alright, there's the original dip test. You could see through the film at 3, 6, 9. You can see it's darker. This is 4. 4 minutes developing. 3, 6, 9 minutes developing. In D97 stock. Room temperature, what, 72, something like that? And then fixed. That's all I did. Alright, so if the negative is thicker because I expose more, the darks will be lighter, and I could continue to expose. I can continue to develop at 4 minutes, and it will be lighter. That's all the film that remains to make into a loop, so that's not going to work. So I'm going to take that negative that's on the gold can and put it back in the printer and get 3 feet of 3302 and print it, and then develop at 4 minutes. This is set on 5 volts. By the way, the film is going into the printer tail end first, and you can see the room has the bright light at the top left. The left side of the room is on the side of the sprockets, so it's backwards. The emulsion side is up, so this is right side up, this is right side up, right reading, shiny side up, so you got to turn it this way, sprockets away, dull side up, and the image is reversed left to right. So the left side of the room is up here by the sprockets, but the bottom of the room is to the right, and the top of the ceiling is on the left. The first print went through, and it had a little hiccup at first, like it wasn't in the sprockets, and I felt one at the end also, I don't know. So I put it on the reel in the can, and then while still in the dark, I reloaded the negative, cut another piece off of the supply reel, and retaped the can shut again, and printed another one, same light setting, 5 volts. So there's 2 reels in here. I'll put 450 or so milliliters of developer, and then I'll have a nice long piece, and I could splice it all together, and there'll be plenty to look at. So if it's off register, you know, out of frame, the first one I could just use it as a spacer and throw away most of it, and still have a lot left to project, and it'll look good. Okay, and this is all at 5 volts, and it's going to develop in 4 minutes in straight D97. August 14th, 2026. Film Photography Projects, 400 BW. developed in D96, 24 minutes for the negative. And that was a 1 gallon concentration from their packet of D96 supplied chemicals. And this was printed onto 3302 at 5 volts, then developed in D97 that I mixed myself at full strength, 4 minutes, developed 4 minutes. This was exposed at 8 frames a second. You really can't do squats that fast. And f5.6, there's about 12 lumens of light in the room. Now at 4 volts you could almost see the lights on the ceiling, the housings, you know, the coverings of the lights. The flare is really down. But if it's any lighter, then it blurs. So this is the film that's made for black and white prints. 3302. I got it from Color Lab in Maryland. And there's not much left, but I might have to buy some. That's a big investment, but I bought the color film, and this is so much better. I'll never use the color film again for black and white prints, but that works too. But it takes an hour. This only took 4 minutes. The film looks brown, warm, golden tone. If you really wanted bluish black and white, then you would have to selenium tone it. The projector has a tungsten bulb. This is a very long, this is a 2-reel loop. 2 prints were made, 3 feet long each, and put onto 110 film, developing steel reels in a can. And 450 milliliters were used to develop it in the can. The film was tape spliced on both sides, and there's not a hitch at all going through the projector.